Hello, world. Thanks for tuning in again on Sunday's Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. So here today, as y'all can see, what we're discussing is does little boys playing with dolls, I'm messing my sentences up, playing with dolls allow them to be more feminine or make them more feminine or just more nurturing parents? So that's what we'll be discussing today. And of course, with all of our discussions, they go left, right, up, down. The tune may change. So just tune in. Here we have Aisha Saldah. Am I saying this right?
You are.
Iman. Right? Okay. Behavior science major at Ashford University and a mother of two. And here we have Theodore Reed, married with two kids in college. South Carolina State University. His son is the head drum major, and his daughter attends North Carolina A&T. He is an educator and administrator, and he opens charter schools. And he's currently in Charleston, South Carolina. So I welcome you both. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
So I'll start. Again, does little boys playing with dolls make them more feminine or just more nurturing parents? And honestly, I feel like it makes them more nurturing parents. Because as we all know, we say little girls playing with dolls, they're going to know how to be a great mom when they get older. They're going to know how to take care of their children. So it makes them love more. And I think that's what makes us a little more mature than the men. I'm not trying to say anything, but I honestly feel, the things we do when we're little, it allows us to, be prepared in life. And then the little boys that can't play with the dolls, I feel like they're missing a little something. Anybody want to start?
Well, I feel that we all have positions and roles in life. If you see a puppy, a kitten, a baby bear, anything, a father bear, father dog, or father cat would know how to take care of that baby without playing with a toy. So it's natural to be nurturing. I feel like our sons shouldn't be playing with baby dolls. Yeah, like easy bake ovens, baby dolls, and all that. Like they shouldn't do that
because it's for girls. It's designed for girls.
I feel it's designed for girls.
All right. Let me piggyback off what she's saying. I feel basically almost the total opposite. Even though I see it, I have students that will actually bring their soft animals, puppies, whatever we want to call them, to school, and it makes them feel secure. Now, and as a male, I know in the generation that I grew up in, young guys or boys, period, didn't play with dolls.
Right.
But if you look at today's society, you have so many kids that's growing up and not having anything to nurture.
Exactly.
They turn to the streets. But if you're nurturing and you caring for this animal or puppy, whatever puppet, you have something in there.
Right.
To make you want to. Now, the generational curse from back in the day, men do this, women do this. 1956, 1960, after the Cold War. But if you look at the system now, most of our boys, and that's why we did the charter school the way we did, because every time you cut the TV on, who do you see on the screen? And they go into jail.
Right.
Because they're very desensitized because, okay, I don't like you, pow, you go to sleep.
Right.
No, but you're not waking up. And so I have that piece where, okay, you're not supposed to do that, but because I'm in that realm and I see it, okay, you can do that. If it's going to calm you and make you feel
right.
Okay. Now, I don't want to see a 20-year-old walk around with a dog baby. That's another issue.
Right, that's another issue.
But you have school-age kids, elementary, wise. If they want to take that doll as a guy, when I say doll, I have some bees because as an administrator from the bees, I have some bees. And so I keep the bees with me. So the bees, they want to hold the bee. The bees are big and they'll cuddle the bee. They'll talk to Mr. B and get the work done.
Okay.
And I'm like, really? You want to work with the bee? But it's telling me you have that sensitive side. And the thing is, if you get a male, like my mother raised me to be, a sensitive guy, you take care of home.
Right. I agree with that 100%.
Compared to just being rough and difficult and have that Cro-Magnon thought of men do this and women do this. I cook every day. I keep the house clean. This is what I do because I took care of my mom so long. But I know the streets also.
Right.
But did you play with baby dolls to learn how to do that?
I wouldn't allow such.
And you still was able to, as a man, you're still able to cook and clean and take care of your own children. You held your children. You helped take care of them without playing with the baby doll.
Because the way I was raised, my mama raised me, but she was so busy trying to make a living for me and my sisters. I knew the streets. And after a while, it grows old. I was saved from not being in the graveyard or in the jailhouse because, yeah, the nasty attitude was there, but a young man know to take care of mama.
Right.
My father wasn't there because of the foolery that he did. And so watching my mama get older and grow, and my sisters left her home, it was my responsibility to take care of my mama. And so I instill that in my kids.
Right.
If I'm not there, you gotta take care of home.
And that goes to something that was discussed on another segment that we had. It was a question as can or having a single parent household affect the child? So I switched it and said, can having a 2-parent household affect the child? Because then there may be arguing or things that you shouldn't see. So I'd rather that single mom or single dad, than to have a 2-parent household just for the sake of the children. So, I mean, you, for an example, it's definitely possible to grow up, be successful, be someone when it's just you and mom or you, mom, and siblings.
But also I had the mentors there. I had 2 strong cousins that made sure I stayed on track.
Okay.
I can't say a mother can't raise a son to be a man, but you also have to have that pillar of another guy that is a man, a true, respectable man, to step in so they can say, all right, this is what you need to do. Follow me, I'm gonna help you out. Because some things that mommies would do, but daddy's supposed to do certain things also. And so I was blessed to have that coming from the other side of my family. But just growing up in a household with a mother and not having any men around, it can be a situation there. If you ask me, the reality is if you have a young guy being raised by his mother, but he needs to have that mentorship there. And this is why I mentor and I do everything that I do because of where I came from.
Right.
But it's a hard road for a mother to be single.
It is a hard road, but I still feel like, what if they don't have the mentorship, or what if they don't have that male figure? I still feel like they can grow up and still be just as successful as the person that did have this mentorship or male figure in their life. What would they be missing? Like, what are statistics on that? Like, what are they missing by not having that male figure?
You want to speak first? Because I can go on all
Well, I have 2 sons. So it's kind of, I do see things where my oldest son, he talks like me because he's around me all the time. So my thing is, you have to live with me because I take care of you, but on the weekends, you go to your daddy house. Go spend time with him. And then when he comes back, he's talking more like his dad versus talking, speaking, enunciating his words. And, he's kind of chill, kind of laid back. But when he's around me is, Mom, if we're going somewhere today, do I need to wear something fancy? Versus being around his dad and say, Dad, you look cool today, Right. So there is a need for a male child to bond with the father, to have that mentor of a man around them. They need that.
But it really don't have to be the father. My dad was a kingpin. I'm gonna put it out there.
Okay.
I learned the negative stuff from him. But my cousins were positive. They gave me the positive piece on life. And going into the schools, this is the way I dress every day. And when they see another black male dressed as such, you can make that. I grew up in Roosevelt Gardens. I came from nothing. The book that I'm working on, East to West, I'm doing pretty good for myself. But you have to have that positive piece so those guys can see it. If you have a positive male, not just because he's the father. The father could be smoking weed, hanging out on the corner with the boys.
Right.
You'll learn that.
Well, no, it doesn't have to be the father, but as long as they have that a positive male,
A positive male. Yes, you do.
role model, then that's what it is. But I just don't think, like, no matter which way the chips fall, we're all naturally nurturers,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't feel like playing with a baby doll would make a kid more nurturer than they are supposed to be.
I'm going to
you know?
say, compared to a baby doll, I'd rather them have the bee.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
like a little plush bee that I had,
Mm-hmm.
or a plush tiger. But
And this is a
I
stuffed
don't want to
animal.
see it. Yeah. It's a
Okay.
stuffed animal, like a plush animal, compared to
A
getting a Barbie and sitting there playing with Barbie.
or a cabbage, or just something in general. I think it's
Yeah.
okay to have.
Because
Having a puppy, you know, like you're raising this animal. You're
you taking care of your
yeah,
nurturing.
you're taking care of. You're
It's like
nurturing.
it's like having a stuffed animal, and you know it makes you feel okay. Did I do it? No,
Well, something's missing.
exactly.
Something's missing. So I think that instead of pacifying a child's emotions with a plush animal or a Barbie doll, I think whatever is bothering them, that should be identified, whether it's through counseling, through mentorship, through whatever, it should be identified. I think that this is a result of poor parenting skills. I'm not trying to step on anyone's
Mhm.
toes, but if you have to pacify your male son with a Barbie doll, or your male son
that's
with
another
a
issue with
with
the
a
Barbie doll. I'm talking about the stuffed animal kind
Well,
of thing.
I understand that, but if you have to, when the topic was introduced, it was
Mhm.
introduced as dolls.
Dolls.
So to pacify your male son with a doll, I think that's poor parenting. You need to figure out what's going on that's making your child. What is it about this doll that's making your child calm, or what calms your child down about what is the doll doing that can't be done?
But it
What
goes
if
back
it's-
to
It has to be an issue.
What
there.
if it's more so you have, you know, little girls, you have little boys, you know, what if he's just playing with a sister? You know, like what if he's
But the thing is, depending on the situation though, because you go to airports, you see these dogs with the red vest on, and they get on the airplane. PTSD. And the dog or the cat or any other animal keeps them calm. How? I don't know. I haven't done the research. But if you have a young guy in a classroom that prefers to have a plush animal that keeps them calm, and they still get their work, you take that plush animal from them, you see a different side of them. It's not a fact that they soft. Matter of fact, they may get harder. These kids nowadays will pull a gun quick
Mhm.
compared to, oh, I'm okay. So the question is it a sign of early PTSD because of what's going on in the home? Because I'm not in the house.
mm-hmm.
You don't know where these kids come from. I will always tell the teachers, when a child come in and throw their book bag to the side,
Right.
you don't
You
know
don't know what happened that
what
morning.
they just left.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so don't send them to my office and say, get out. Why did they come in and throw their bag to the side?
Mhm.
Right.
Know your kids. All right, my mom beat my dad up. I have no place to go. I have a student. Her mom left the home because she was on drugs and grandma told her to go. 2 weeks later, her father OD'd on drugs. And her mother's not there. Her dad OD'd. She looked the dad name up on the iPad because all these schools now have the Chromebooks and
Right.
iPads. And she made the class kind of rowdy. She ended starting to cry because of the home situation. Talk to the student, calm her down. Everything's okay. They get those moments. And so they came to me. And I told the guy's mom, I said, it's something totally different. She said, yeah, he do that at home. I said, okay. The mother and the father's in the home. They're well to do. But he's a talker. When I say he's a talker, he's a talker. I probably call him boy name in my sleep. But here's Mr. B.
And calm him down.
Calm him down. It goes back to, is there an early stage for PTSD for kids that have been traumatized by stuff that's going on in home compared to going to Iraq, going to Afghanistan, and a bullet coming through, or the grenade blew up next to your tank? Is it an early case of PTSD? Nobody ever talked about it. But dealing with kids on a daily basis, you don't send them home because they come home mad, come to school mad. You don't send them home. You know the kids. If that's going to make you be okay, I'm not a counselor, but it's going to make the job easier if you're okay with it.
Right.
Doesn't mean that you're going to be girly when you get older. That's another whole topic.
Yeah, you're right.
Because sometimes they come out that way.
Yeah, and that was discussed on another topic, and we
but
could probably
the
go
thing is,
forever on that one.
If you know your students as an educator, if they coming in such a way, because it's more prevalent now, the media is actually provoking that, you know? And so a lot of kids want to experiment. But having a plush animal compared to a doll baby is totally different, because I see it and I live it on a daily basis. Okay, I understand. Now, if you show up with Mr. B and you have an issue in the classroom, then we got an issue. But if it's going to calm you down,
Then by all means.
by all means.
Before you began, Aisha, one of our viewers said, our children are from a totally different generation. They are more stand-up males these days than ever. Holding a baby doll doesn't make a boy child more feminine, unless it means a girl playing with a Superman toy is masculine. That is definitely, you could definitely flip it that way.
Yeah.
You could flip it that way. You can flip it any type of way you want. And maybe I'm just old school. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm cut from a different cloth. But I just don't understand, even in terms of if this particular thing calms this child down, why give a child something that wasn't designed for them to calm them down in the first place? Why not try to take steps and find something else?
But it was designed for the child.
Why not get bees? Why not get those Rubik cubes? Why not find something else to calm the child down instead of giving a child? And I'm stuck on the doll baby thing.
Well, I think not mainly saying giving it to him to, go in the room and play with his doll. It's more like if I was a male, or my child, my son is playing with my daughter with her Barbies or her dolls or whatever, dressing them with her. I was looking at it more so that way. Like, does that make him more feminine? Because now he's sitting down there playing with dolls with his sister.
All right, now that's another whole pitch. I came from the plush animal.
Mm-hmm. And I can reason with the plush animal.
I can too.
I can.
Now, when you're looking at the doll baby.
Mm-hmm.
I have a son. Doll babies. I was raised a particular way too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't see guys literally just playing with doll babies. They get the doll baby, I want to take care of hair and all that. That's another whole entity to me.
Right.
And I think this is what you're talking
about.
That's
all I have
in my head is just a little boy playing with the doll baby.
So you walk in with your son, his little cousin's playing, and he's down there playing with them too. He's like 5 or 6. It's a problem. Get that doll out your hand. You're not to play with dolls.
If he's trying to because I had cousins.
Well, he'll take the arm off. He try to break it.
Tearing off the arm and playing with it, and what I'm saying, the female cousins trying to get the arm back and whatever. Oh, good job, son.
Yeah, see, I understand that. When it comes to that Barbie, it's a little different for me.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
No, if you don't put that thing down, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. And I feel like this is where the boys can be princes to esteem from. Some mother or father let their child start playing with a Barbie doll, and then next thing you know, now you see it all across Facebook. Boys can be princesses too. No, they can't.
And the thing is, what's going on now? All right, with the social media. All right, you got the Barbie, and what's the boy name? Ken.
Mm-hmm.
You got a Ken doll.
Right.
the way the system is now, these kids now, at the point they see stuff on the media that they shouldn't see, they're going to try to make both of them get together.
Yeah.
And they'll be, that's their mindset compared to relaxing and enjoying and doing what they should be doing.
Right.
Their homework, having good discussion, and thinking about future and what I need to do. But if you're 5 years old and you focus on the doll baby, all right, like you said, I agree with you. Why you want to focus on this doll baby? But I can get you this, and you can work on that. Design something, create. The kids like to work with their hands, and that's why we did the first charter we did, because boys like to work with their hands.
Right.
Now, if he wants to play with this doll baby, I agree. It's another different kind of issue compared to having a plush doll just for relaxation. But to sit there and say, I want to get this Barbie mama, and she go get him that for Christmas, I got an issue with it.
I definitely.
I don't
have
think
an
no
issue with
parent.
that.
Well, I can't say that. I don't think none will go out there and like purposely just buy their kid a doll or a Barbie. Just fly, y'all. I'm sorry.
You fine?
I don't think.
Listen.
I would hope not.
I mean, it has to
I've
start
been in
from
the
somewhere.
educational system for 25 years. I've seen it all.
So if they're acting out in the store because he want this Barbie, mom's just gonna buy it so he can be quiet.
She will.
But then that goes back to, well, I don't even want to take it there, but them being born that way. Maybe he just wanted a doll for whatever reason.
It's an issue. It can be a very negative issue.
Yeah, it can
which
be
I
a
really
bad
don't
one.
wanna
I don't
put
want to
out
go there
there.
either
I don't
because I
wanna
feel
put it out
like
there.
I
It's
know
a
what you're
negative
saying.
issue because again, it goes back to the
Why
stuff
would
that
you
they
want it?
see in
Yeah.
social media, and that's how these kids are learning now because everybody got a cell phone. If you in third grade, what you need a cell phone for?
I didn't get a cell phone until I was in high school.
My 7-year-old has a cell phone, and my 10-year-old, they do. But they have, and I was totally against this. I'm like, no, you're not getting a phone. But there was a reason that my kids needed
And you
the
have
phone.
parental controls on that.
Right. So they both have Gmails, but they have children accounts. Anything that they want to download, it automatically pings to my phone. If I'm on my laptop, it pings to the laptop. Like, I'm aware. And then they'll say, well, Mom, can you go ahead and approve such and such? Give me a little bit. And it might take a week for me to approve it because I have to see what it is.
But what about those parents that don't do that?
We just got to pray for them.
I see issues.
You know?
Last year we had a big issue at the school where over the weekend they doing this, what do you call it, TikTok? Something they got going on.
Music
The
videos,
Snapchat stuff, and they doing all this, and they texting each other, and now you got a major fight coming through the school. What happened in the street on Saturday?
Like I said, I think all of this is a result of poor parenting.
You have to.
Okay,
actually
so
look
what
at
about
this
the parent that is a single parent and has to work 2 jobs and just does not have that much time and they rely on school? Like, I'm just going to send you to school and hopefully they'll teach you what you need. I don't have time.
Oh, I can have a conversation about that too. We have students that have to have a cell phone. If it ain't nothing but a kidney transplant, they have to have a cell phone on. But we're talking about the kids where they don't have to have a cell phone, but they want to get on and do texting to somebody in another class. You don't have to have that phone. Who's gonna call you while you in school?
In school.
Your parents should be calling you because they know you in school, and the school say no cell phones. Again, social media has dictated a lot of what the kids are doing. Doll baby, cell phone. Which one would I prefer?
I would probably prefer.
I would prefer the cell phone.
I don't know because they can get so much from that cell phone.
They can get the doll baby off a cell phone.
And the thing
You see what I'm
is,
saying? They can go into a site on a cell phone that'll make them want to get the doll baby. Because the young male mind, and really and truly, at a certain age, if they got 2 legs, they get turned on.
Now, Miguel, you said, what about the single parent who has 2 jobs?
Right.
Okay, so there comes a point when you have to put your child first.
That's
You
true.
have to put your children first, no matter what. God entrusted you with children.
Very much.
You got them, and you got to do what you got to do.
And they
So-
feel like doing what they got to do is working 2 jobs.
They need to reprioritize. They need to sit down, figure out something. I just came from a job where I feel like this was probably the best job that I had. But I was given the option to either work from like 8 o'clock in the morning to maybe 7 in the evening, or sometimes I would get off 9 o'clock at night, and I'm working an hour away from home. So I had to think, okay, my children already don't get to see me as much as they should with me working 40 to 50 hours a week. What happens when I take this different position? Do I take on another position with crazy hours? Or do I take the layoff so that I can be there for my sons?
Right.
I'm proud to say I sit home every day. They love when I come to the school and pick them up. It's just a matter of when you got something going on with your kids, or when you feel like your kids don't have proper guidance. If you're working 2 and 3 jobs, you got to do what you got to do to put your kids first.
Exactly.
You have to
and,
find
and
a
that's
way.
the thing. That's why I'm in the position I'm in now, because my mother did that.
Right.
But also, she reached out to my people, her family,
Mm-hmm.
my cousins. And then once I got out there and I learned, because they have to be shown how to guide. It's called mentorship. And so this is why I do what I do now, because that's the same position my mother. If you go in, you Google me, you'll see the life story of my mom raising me as a single parent, as a male, and my 2 older sisters. You have to have someone that's going to keep there with you. And when it comes to a tail cutting, it's no problem in cutting the tail.
Right.
You know, and she grounded me for getting a D the whole summer.
Mm-hmm. You should have been grounded for a D.
Exactly.
A lot of
Right.
parents don't look at it that way.
No, we
No,
have
now,
we have
if
a
a
grade
kid,
policy.
if a kid get a D, they still fine.
No.
And especially with that grade system or scale
Mhm.
changing, like,
It's going back the way it was. It's on
That's
the
all
base
right.
10 system.
no, I don't agree.
No, 0 to 10, 80,
That's
90.
crazy to me.
It's going back to that system. But you have to have that parental guidance. But as a single parent, you still need to have someone there to assist you,
Right.
to help him become the male, because society,
Well, you men.
or at
draw
this
men.
point now, they accept everybody. You just got to make the grade. If you walk in and you apply for a position, nobody's going to look at it, because there's no discrimination law. So if you qualify for it, you're going to get a position. But do we want to raise our males as warriors? Yes. As
Mhm.
leaders? Yes.
Definitely.
But I want to raise our baby girls to be the same way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daughter Taylor, she can do everything and say and do what she needs to do and carry herself as a young lady, but not dependent on anyone else,
Right.
because of the way the system is going now. I know back in the 1950s, after that Cold War and all these guys came back home, you had the Brady Bunch. The dad go out, make the money, the mama stay home. She was a homemaker.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids came in, mom had food cooked and everything. Everything was hunky-dory. But when it comes to us, what we were doing? Trying to survive in that field. But they don't talk about it. But for our boys to become men,
Mm-hmm.
again, it goes back to my passion of why I do what I do. You need to become a young male. You're supposed to be a leader in the community and take care of the home. But also, you have to teach them now how to deal with society, because it changed so much.
Right.
And so, when it comes to baby dolls, no, you don't need to play with that. But why you want to play with it? Have that conversation.
Right.
But a plush animal is totally different to me.
Therapeutic reasons, because I'm a behavior science major, I have to agree with that. If it's therapeutic, then yeah. But at the same time, I feel my children go to therapy, and she can't give them no plush animal. She can't. She better not.
Even if it's during the
What she need to
The
give them that
session.
for? I mean, for
maybe
what?
they open up more when they're holding.
Sometimes it's a stimulant, and it calms them down.
She can give him a piece of cotton if he needs something soft. He can pull some cotton apart. What does he need a stuffed animal for?
I'm not with the Barbie dolls, as you
Mhm.
would call them, but I can understand the plush animal.
I can to a certain extent, but at the same time, when you go to therapy, you start off here, with, problematic. And then you find out what the problem is, you identify it. And then you work on coping skills to shy away and to make that problem better.
But it goes
so
back.
you can't have a plush animal throughout the whole therapeutic session. If you start here, you have to learn how to cope without that plush animal. What happens when you're 19 and 20?
Out to help you out.
What happens when you're 19 and 20 and 35 and you're a grown man walking around and you can't get your words out, so you got to sneak around and come on.
If you're 40 years old walking through the airport with a dog, PTSD. Because of traumatic experience.
That's a pet.
But still, they need to have something to keep them calm.
Well, she can get my kids a hamster, or she can get them a dog if that's what they need. But to say that you're going to give them a teddy bear, like my 10-year-old is, to each his own. He's a little healthy. He's 200 pounds, 193 to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy. He puts you in the mind of that movie, Blindside, the guy that was a football player.
Yeah.
He puts you in the mind of him.
He's a big teddy bear.
Yeah, but I can't see myself walking around and he has anxiety really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when he talk, if he trying to get his words out, but you know what? You gonna sit there and twirl them fingers and rock back and forth because you're not getting no stuffed animal. And I guess I guess you can compare that to how your mom felt about you playing with Barbie dolls. She wasn't going to allow it for you, and I'm not going to allow him to play with stuffed animals, because whatever is bothering you, you need to get it out and you need to learn how to deal with it without picking up a stuffed animal.
You have to have that conversation with them to understand now. My mom, I have no recollection of anything trying to deal with a baby doll. My thing was slingshots, rocks, and sticks.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. And growing up in the hood like that, you hung with the boys. Mm-hmm. Single parent home. So it made me a great mixture, because I was very nurturing, because I took care of my mom. Because you should take care of your mama.
Right.
And I tell all my boys that, hey, never make your mama cry.
Mm-hmm.
Never make your mama cry. Dads, okay, cool. My thing is, I'm coming from experience. I'm a great dad, I think. My kids do as was taught by myself and their mother. But if I wasn't in the household, how would it be? I'm not even fathoming that, because they're of age now. But for a child that's in kindergarten, first, second, and third grade, and the father's not there, the parent can still adjust to that fact, but also you still have to go back and have someone else to help them. And that's why we create these mentoring groups, because you can't do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely right.
Mom getting up 3:30 in the morning, cooking us breakfast, and getting home 4 o'clock. Her thing was, this house better be clean by the time I get home. What an apartment in Rosary Garden.
And see, that's how you learn. That's how you learn from doing chores in the house. You learn how to take care of the house.
Mm-hmm.
You learn because parents gotta work, so you gotta take care of the younger siblings. You don't need a Barbie or none of that.
But it's going back to the way it's a systematic issue, because now the parents don't make these kids do anything.
That's true.
Bad parenting
That's true.
skills. Poor parenting.
Poor parenting. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Mm-hmm.
The parents are like, you don't have them big mamas no more. When I say big mamas, you go to grandma's house and grandma got the food cooked, and she gonna slap you upside the head if you say anything out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with moms. But if moms are not on that field, because mom want to go to the party, and and the kids staying home by themselves, you have another whole issue.
Right.
But when it comes back to having that baby doll, all right, boy, take the baby doll and go sit down. That's a big issue with me. Now, you can be nurturing.
I don't think nobody just would give them a doll.
You'll be surprised. I'm going to tell you.
I don't know.
Miss So-and-so, come pick your son up, because he's going home for 3 days. All right. Come in there, you want to fuss with everybody. But your boy done slapped some girl up. One thing you don't do is put your hands on nobody's kid.
Nobody here.
But your thing is, oh, she must have did something to make him do that. I don't give a hoot if she did. Both of them will go home. but he got to leave here because he did not follow rules. But one thing is, personally, you don't put your hand on nobody's child and then a male do it to a girl. And so it goes back to that parenting piece.
Maybe he was the boy that was pulling the arms off. Maybe he was pulling the arms off the Barbie dolls.
Yeah, but you have to teach them, and it's the hard part in the educational system. You have to actually guide them and teach them the way they should go, but you cannot dictate how they do at home,
Right.
unless your child's in a Montessori school. That's one of the things you have to be. If you're in Montessori school, you have to go abide by what they say at home.
Mm.
And so it's a big difference. Economically, it's a big difference. Racially, it's a big difference. Socially, it's a big difference. If you see it every day.
Yeah, I know. And I hate to cut it short.
Oh, we run out of time.
But yeah, we ran out of time. But what we do at the last part is pull just to switch it up a bit for 5 minutes, and then we adjourn. But I do want to say, you know, I'm glad both of you came on, learned a lot. I learned a lot, and we do need a lot more men that are mentors and that will step up to the plate, especially with everything that's going on now, and not just in Orangeburg County, but yes, in Orangeburg County. So we do need our men to stand up. Let's get out there. It's get ready to be hot. Let's have these kickball games. Let's have these Saturday, you know, discussions with these little boys. See what's going on with in their heads. Like, let's just start spending time with them. I'm all forward.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody can, you know, step up to the plate and let's do this. Let's get something out there. Let's start these softball games. I don't know, for these young men and girls, but I'm all for it. But we're gonna have a quick 5-minute powwow with this, and then just to switch it up a little bit, and then we'll be done. How would you handle a situation of your daughter telling you that she's pregnant at a young age?
I need you to go first. Because I got words.
I don't know.
Myself, and if a young lady come home, I gotta say my child, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comes home and say, Daddy,
She's 14.
I'm gonna look at me first.
So you don't think you did something wrong?
If she been going someplace she had no business going, and I didn't talk to her the way I should have spoke with her, you know, or her mom, Daddy, I'm pregnant. The first question is, it doesn't make sense, is, how you get like that? You know how she got like that?
Yeah.
She went someplace, out of school, or home, or I wasn't home, and she had somebody in the home. If it happened at school, I got a situation.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Every child should be, you know, you can't watch everybody, but it's expected to. You don't send your kids to go to school to get caught up. But in the home, if she comes home and says that she's expecting, now, I know me, I know my attitude, but the real thing is, that's my baby.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure she's okay. And so I'm gonna give her all the support that she needs to have. I'm not gonna like it, but I'm not gonna throw her to the wolves.
Right.
You know, I messed up, you messed up. That's
Figure
it.
this thing out.
That's it. That's it. I'm gonna pray on that thing. That's all I can say. I'm gonna
What do you
support her.
say?
But
I don't have a daughter.
If you did, someone clearly needs this answer.
oh, hold on, watch this. I'm gonna fill it up on you.
I don't have
If your
a
son
daughter.
come home and say he got his girlfriend pregnant, he's 14.
I think I'm gonna ask what I probably shouldn't ask, but I want to know how. You know, like, what you mean?
How
You know,
got that?
I don't even know what I would say or do. But at the end of the day, that's my child.
Right.
Just like you said, obviously both of us messed up. Somewhere along the
somewhere.
line, I missed something and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to
Right.
be doing. So
I stayed to a meeting a little too late.
Yeah.
we gotta figure out something. I mean, as
But you
far
have to
as
take care of him, though.
oh my,
I think I make you sweat.
Hopefully, we'll never be in that situation.
hopefully.
Hey,
You're already out of it. Cause
no,
yours-
I'm not out of it. I want my baby married and everything. You know, the wife
Right,
type
right,
thing.
right,
But
right.
she's at A&T, and so she be coming out in 2 years. Same thing with my son as a junior at state. Daddy, I got something. Oh, we having this conversation. And so, but the reality is, it can always happen because the way that it's systematic. But the only thing we can do is, as parents, constantly have that conversation with them. Constantly have that conversation with them while they're young, and hopefully they'll listen to what you're saying.
I just want to say something really quick.
Okay.
My grandmother told me, probably, I don't remember exactly how old I was, but at a very early age, she told me, I probably was a teen, she told me, she started talking to me about losing virginity and having sex, and she told me something. My grandmother left out the whole thing about the birds and the bees. She just said, if you have sex before you get married, it is going to split you from one end to the next. And she said, you'll have to get stitches. And she said, and it's real, real bad. And I can honestly say I didn't have my first child until I was 25, and I didn't lose any type of virginity until I was well in my 20s. So I think, you know,
sometimes you can instill it in them.
Yeah, you make like say you gotta have that conversation. See, back when we were growing up, boy, if you do so and so.
Yeah, she left everything out, and she just gave me a really big scare, and it helped.
It is so different now, though. I see it on a daily basis. You got kids in 5th grade. I had a whole 5th grade class last year that were lesbian.
I think that's a phase.
It's
that's
a
just a trend, yeah.
And that social media, and so they decided, and now all of a sudden, Mr. Reed, she going out with her. Oh,
we as parents have to be mindful that what we allow our children to watch. It's not just on social media. It's on TV.
It's parenting skills.
It's on TV. It's my children. Thank God for Netflix and Hulu and stuff that I can control and screen, because my children watch Brady Bunch and Family Matters and what's happening. They don't know about the new shows. I was in the doctor's office a couple weeks ago, and I heard a little girl talking to her mom about Power. She must have been like 12 or 13. And in my mind, I'm sitting here like, you got to be kidding me. Like, we just have to be mindful of what we expose our kids to. Right. We might be...
But the thing with that is, you can do that at home, but when they leave your eyesight, peer pressure is a beast. And when they come
they going out my eyesight?
School.
When they go to school.
They learn a lot from school.
They do learn a lot from school.
80% of the stuff.
They do.
And every parent is not you know.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was gonna say, because mine are outside now. Mine are usually everywhere I go. You know, so.
And that's how it should be, because they're young. But you do have some of those parents that may be on that grind, but staying home with grandma and grandma type, like going outside,
right,
type of thing, and then you run in the street. And so what the street gonna teach you? The same thing it taught me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we must wrap it up. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Thank you both again for coming on.
Truly enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Till next time.